Hey YouTube, Big Daddy 0207 here with
KC Classic 7.
Here to talk about WWE 13. And before we get into WWE 13, I just want to go over WWE 12. I watched our review, and basically I felt that we overrated that game. We reviewed it very quickly as soon as the game came out, and I felt we overhyped the game, and that's why we took a little bit longer for this one.
It seemed like it was more of a first impressions review of WWE 12 rather than a review of the game itself. So
yeah, I think WWE 12 was a great stepping stone leading into 13. There was a lot of good things I saw that led into what we got for 13. But let's get into the review. First mode we look at in the game is the Attitude Era mode.
The Attitude Era mode is actually a mode that is well needed. The Attitude Era was personally my favorite era of wrestling. That's when I was watching the most, and it seemed like the most exciting. So it's a nice addition to have it in WWE 13.
I think it's every wrestling fan's favorite era, mostly.
Yes,
for the most part, when you ask somebody. It's a great mode, very correct with the dates when everything happened. You notice with the superstar threads, even.
Yeah, for each match. It seems the superstar threads for certain wrestlers they switch, so that's pretty cool to see like that they had the accurate colors. I mean, it might not have been down to the T what they wore, but at least the colors were accurate. That was a pretty cool addition.
Helps with the moment.
Yes.
So THQ knows it's the small things I care about, stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, I noticed that.
Yes.
Attitude Era mode, there's lots of great objectives. You want to get through everything, unlock the people. I did buy fan access, and I did not want to hit the square button to unlock everything. But overall, Attitude Era mode is great. I'm still working through it, actually, so I don't want to comment and give too much insight into what's going to happen in the storyline.
So far, so you like it so far?
Love it.
Love it?
It's good. I enjoy it. I have nostalgia when I play through it. Now, let's ask this question to you. Do you think it should stay, or should Road to WrestleMania come back? Season mode, is it yay? Do you like it? I'm hearing mixed reviews on it, so I don't know.
That's a tough one. The reason why I say that is because you don't want to base your game off of like the past wrestlers. You still want to try to build up the new guys now. It feels a lot. I don't want it to be like how 2K12 felt this year personally to me, to where they're just throwing more legends at us, and it's just like they forget about what got them there, their core gameplay.
Right. Well, that was for 2K12. I think 13 didn't do that.
Yeah, 2K13 didn't do that, but I don't want WWE 13. I mean WWE 14 to do that.
Yeah.
Like how
where they fall into that pattern of that.
Yeah.
I agree. Let's get into the next mode. We'll look at Universe mode. Universe mode, from what I've heard, I haven't went into the mode too much. I don't think you have either, really, right?
No, not yet.
Universe mode seems like a big improvement. I like the fact that we can use creating arenas, except for on PS3. I'm hoping that gets patched. But the creating arenas idea was cool. I like that you can have a show every day of the week. You can mix up the rosters. I love Universe mode. The only thing I wish it would have is a thing for feuds, that you can extend it, make it more storyline based. I don't want the guy to have to fight, like if it's John Cena, CM Punk, I don't want them to have to fight every single week for this to be a feud. Some weeks I want John Cena to face someone else, like Lord Tensai or Big Show or something. Or maybe I'll put them against each other in a tag match. I just want the feuds to be known, so maybe where I can book them in the game. I don't know if that's in. Maybe it's in one of those unlockable packs.
So it doesn't feel as static, I would say.
Right, so that I feel like I have some control, but some randomness can happen too.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the beauty of it. Anything you want to say about Universe mode?
Haven't quite dove into it yet, like you've already said, but it's something that I'm looking forward to diving into. Universe mode is usually an underrated. I'd say it's an underrated mode compared to the Attitude Era mode this year. But Universe mode should be a lot of fun once people get their hands on it and dive into it.
Agreed. The creation menu, there's a lot of different things that you can choose from this year. We've got the superstar threads, always great. I just wish that you guys would make sure that we let THQ know that we want to be able to edit everything on a superstar. I was disappointed that CM Punk has that blue line on the side. Yes, it's a small thing. Yes, it sounds like I'm crying, but I'd rather just cry about small things than cry about big things.
Yes.
Like, I don't know, last year were lots of big things to cry about, but that's okay. I mean, as long as they know and it gets addressed later on, maybe even in the patch, that would be great. Probably not. We also have the entrance for the guys, the usual stuff, move sets. You can assign signatures and special moves this year and create a finisher, story designer. Hopefully we get some great stories. Last year I felt kind of about the mode. There wasn't too much we could do in there. Create an Arena is back. And yes, it's better than ever. Some of these arenas I've already seen online, what some of you guys can do, it's phenomenal. Even I can make a pretty decent arena, and I'm probably the worst creator of anything. I can't draw. I can't cut a piece of paper straight. Do you have anything you wanted to say about creating an arena yourself?
I like how easy it is. Like how you were saying, it's not like it's not very difficult to create arenas, and I'm excited to see what arenas that we'll see this year. Like, I know I'm a big fan of New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I'd like to see what New Japan Pro Wrestling arenas will look like.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like that too. I like how you can pick different venue sizes.
Yeah.
From inside to outside. THQ, please add more of those. I really, really dig that you guys did that.
Like, for example, for ECW, you can make it that small arena, and it actually like feels like you're at an ECW.
Yeah.
Like event.
I agree. WrestleMania is the only arena that I would still like for them to make feel the only arena that's larger than life. Not all of them have to be like that, but I would really, really like to see WrestleMania have that feeling that you want for the crowd.
Yeah, it still feels a little bit small.
I feel like I'm in Raw still.
Yeah.
You come down the ramp, you get in the ring. The details are great, but I just want the ramp to be longer, the arena just to feel a little bit bigger.
I'm not sure if they have it, but have the 2 announce tables.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, have the 2 announce
tables. The little things like that, or even the little sidebar where the ring announcers sit.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. We also have logos, stuff like that. Shout-outs to people like GameVolt, make great logos on there. I can't do that. I don't know if you're good at making logos.
Yeah,
it's not my thing.
Not a logo, man.
They got the highlight reel as well. All stuff like that. The next thing we could look at is online. What are your feelings on online this year? You're a pretty connoisseur of online gameplay.
Online... It seems like it's working. It works fine. It more depends on who you're playing. I would say with online, if you're playing someone who's not necessarily they only are trying to win, so they're not really changing up their moves. They're just doing the same moves over and over, or you're not
run grapple
spam.
It's back a little bit.
So if you're not fighting someone like that, you can have some great online matches.
Yeah, I agree. Reversing's a lot easier.
Yeah, reversing is a lot easier.
I do feel kickout is kind of easy, though, for people who played the game for a while. I'm in a league, XGW on the PS3. You can Google it or go to www.s1.zetaworks.com/XGW. Then there's another W, Wrestling, all one word, XGW Wrestling.
We will put that in the description below.
Yeah, but I play with a league with a bunch of guys who've been playing the game for years, and we all kick out a lot. Like, there has to be a problem for us to basically miss the kick out meter, or you got to basically hit a finisher. I like that they added that in. I just think kicking out should gradually get harder as the match progresses. Same with submissions. I want submissions to feel more difficult the longer the match goes on. I think once you're stuck in a submission the first time, yeah, you can get to the ropes, or yeah, you can get out of it. But that's just my personal thoughts on it. If you guys have different thoughts, let me know. I do like the slower gameplay this year.
Yeah, that's actually the first thing I noticed while playing the demo, that the gameplay felt a lot slower. The transitions looked very, very smooth. It looked from far away, it looked more like a wrestling match rather than just a fighting game. I felt a lot of these wrestling games just look like fighting games, to where it's just so fast paced and up tempo.
Yeah, what is this, Tekken or wrestling? I understand what you're saying with that. I like the feel that it's a wrestling game. Like No Mercy used to have, WrestleMania 2000, Here Comes the Pain. Those games felt like wrestling games with all the moves. The guys all felt different. THQ, I'm still asking you to make sure that no one has those damn rock movesets to where they're doing the neck breakers and stuff all the time. I mean, but the movesets are much better this year, greatly improved. The DLC packs look phenomenal. If you have not bought Fan Access, I highly recommend that you do.
Yes.
Anyway, you can get $20, even if it's on a little Christmas gift card. I recommend it, guys. The DLC is phenomenal. I've already played with some of the DLC from first day. Gangrel, Rikishi, Too Cool, DDP, Goldust. These guys are all phenomenal. Great character models. They don't look half-assed, if I could say. It's a great game this year. They have additions with special guest referee and I Quit matches. Definitely fun to play. Brings you back down memory lane if you're an old player. And if you're a new player, you got to love having those new matches in.
Yeah, anytime you can get new matches into a game that we've been asking for, it's kind of relieving, I'd say.
Yeah, that you can finally do something different, because for the last couple of years they haven't really added anything new to the match types. But the last thing that I would like to get into is next year, WWE 14.
Might seem a little early, but I feel like this needs to be...
I think you have to ask the question, where do you go from here?
Yeah. I mean, there's many different options, but it's like, how do you continue to keep the people who bought the game? Because I know there's people who purely bought the game just because of the Attitude Era mode. So how do you reel those people back into the game without making it seem gimmicky to the hardcore fan?
Yeah, I mean, you also have to. How do you top yourself after this? I mean, do you continue with the Attitude Era mode? Do you go back into the 80s mode?
That's an idea, to go back into the 80s.
And then, but what about the current guys? I mean, look at Tyson Kidd, William Regal. These guys were forgotten about this year.
Yeah.
And I think they're huge parts to the show now.
Yeah.
I just find it, I don't know. I find it very difficult for this just to be let go and forget the current guys. Maybe you could do two modes, maybe a half and half. I don't know how to explain it. I think it comes down to what the people want more.
Yeah. I don't know. Just my only issue is, like, if what happens, like, I mean, you get 1 year of the Attitude Era mode, then it's kind of like it was just thrown in here for a year. Like, what happens to all the Attitude Era superstars? Like, what happens? That's more of my issue.
Yeah, and I mean, those guys are legends that people like to have always, too. I mean, they're like the top cause downloaded sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if you put them in a DLC pack, I think that people would gladly buy them.
Yeah.
Even if there was like an Attitude Era pack, I think that can be an idea.
Yeah, I love the large roster. Overall, WWE 13, great game. Is it perfect? No. Where I would put this game, now that I played it for a little bit, it's been a week, I say 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll top that with you, 8.5.
Yeah, so I want to hear your thoughts, guys. I want to know what you think about the game, what you guys think about the video. I want to know what you guys want to see for WWE 14. So if you could, please leave your thoughts and comments below. And don't forget, if you guys are interested in signing up for a PlayStation 3 League, we do have one. We're looking for fair players, and we use regular wrestlers. So if you're willing to, check us out. We'll have a link in the description. And leave your comments, leave a like, and have a great day. Animalz.
Subscribe if you haven't.
Oh, yeah, subscribe. And Animalz
out.